So I'm pretty much convinced that AGS has no real plans to balance the game. But with that being said, they pretty much have since season 3 just continuously buffed my not only just builds but playstyles. If you couldn't tell by now, I really enjoy battle mage type builds, and yeah, this next patch is going to be pretty ridiculous in terms of build craft. But we do have a clip here where I've been trying to min-max my fire rapier, and this build, especially the next patch, is going to be absolutely ridiculous with the new int gem scaling and inferno now being actually fire damage, so that we can use a artifact on this build. But we do have a clip here from an Opera where it's actually been a little while since I've PvP'd. I've been doing a lot of crafting stuff, but we jumped back in with the fire rapier, and we're going to pretty much go on an absolute rampage in this match. As you can see, I'm already on the backside of the sun, kind of putting in a little bit of pressure into the enemy team's backline here. We do a pretty good job of following down that fire staff and blunderbuss player and finishing him off with the flurry. And then we're going to go ahead and see if we can push forward and make something happen. We end up doing a little bit of a circle here. We loop back to sun, and then I find myself again behind the enemy team's backline. I want to see what we can make happen here. We're going to start to put in a little bit of pressure into the enemies who are kind of just shooting into the point, get a really nice incinerate into a vines there on that one target, and then we're just going to get out of that gravity well really quick. I have been using flurry on this build, which especially with the 2-hit reset on evade and the lower cooldowns in general, it's actually an insane amount of pressure and iframes that you can get on this setup, considering that we have that two-hit reset, excuse me. But yeah, we're kind of putting in a lot of damage into this tank. Can't really do anything to us, and you can kind of see right there what I was talking about. You can really play the rapier how it was meant to be played, which was, you know, full aggression, assuming that you can time your iframes properly and that we have another iframe on the build. And you can see that that tank really had nothing he could have done against us here, but we are still continuing the pressure up. We're trying to see if we can find a couple of more targets. As I make my way out to the back of the point, you can see that there's quite a few players kind of set up. As per normal in OPR, you kind of have the your outskirt archers kind of just shooting at everybody who's trying to actually PvP. But you can see we do end up pulling quite a few players back with this hero across the side. Get a lot of damages with both of them with the incinerate. Doing a pretty good job of iframing and keeping up the pressure with the flurry and our evade for iframes. Do end up getting a little bit of help here from some teammates, and we're going to be able to take them out. But yeah, this is only just getting started. The amount of pressure and freedom we have to kind of just go around and take people out on this setup especially is kind of ridiculous the closer I get it to being complete, as we do end up chasing down this last greatsword player here and finishing him off. But we're still going to see if we can find anything and make something happen here. I'm really excited about out of all the changes, really Inferno getting changed back to fire damage, because it is literally the perfect fire staff for my build. We've been using Incinerate for a really long time, and when they gutted the damage quite a while ago, and they pretty much only turned it into a stagger tool, so it'll be pretty interesting to see if we can get some form of actual damage on that ability again with it retaining its stagger. But we have found ourselves in another fight here with another mage, putting in a lot of pressure. As long as we're able to dodge that fireball and that pillar, you will usually be able to deal with mages, as that's a bulk of their damage, as long as you don't get hit by too many heavies back to back. But as you can see, we're doing a really good job able to finish him off, with him not really having many options after we are able to dodge a bulk of those abilities. But again, we find ourselves at the back of sun once again, as our team is trying to fight for that point, and I'm doing what I can to kind of try to weaken the backline here. And it looks like my team is actually winning on the point, but that does mean that there's going to be quite a few more players out here. Get a nasty flurry combo into the incinerates. do a bunch of damage to that one guy and take him out with the dots. We're going to turn our attention back to the reinforcements here, kind of pushing the way back onto the point. You see how much damage just the lights and heavies with the fireballs on the fire staff do to people. I know I talk about it all the time, but it's just something I'm not used to, considering that I've been running such a low damage fire staff for so long. But get a really nice evade on that void scream right there, and then we're gonna go ahead and fast forward a little bit into slightly later into this match, where the enemy team starts to get not too happy with what we're doing in the match here. We are going to find ourselves in a little quick 1v1 here against a flail healer, and you're really going to see how insane Flurry can be on certain rapier setups. You can pretty much just be aggressive, fully aggressive, as long as you're able to time your abilities, and you can see right there what I mean. Not only does Flurry do a pretty decent amount of damage, but when you combine that with the low cooldowns of Evade on this build in particular, yeah, it's a pretty ridiculous amount of pressure we're able to keep up for essentially free. This is, again, as long as we're able to time our frames, as we do get another really nice finish on that mage again there. But again, we're just hunting for people, going to see how much we can do here. I'm trying to continually just give my team as easy as a job as possible to try and capture Sun here. And we have started to attract the attention of a couple of players here in the back line. As I said, they're not getting, or they're not too happy with us kind of just farming the healers and bows here. Get a pretty nice combo on that greatsword player there, as we do get a little bit of assistance from our team. And then we're just going to heal up for a quick second here and jump right back into the fight. Now, I will have a build update for this build pretty soon. As I mentioned, I have been trying to min-max it a little bit and get it closer to being complete. And we are pretty close to that. One of the changes that I did make was adding in another piece of shirking heals, as it did get nerfed a little bit ago. Previously, before it got nerfed, I was getting healed for about 1300-ish from 2 pieces, and we've kind of just thrown on an additional piece to get it back up to that number. You don't really need a giant heal on this build. We are running Rapier Fire Staff, right? Like the highest mobility setup that you can run, and it really comes down to your positioning more so than the amount of shrinking heals you're going to have on. All shrinking heals is really doing is allowing you to essentially play aggressive. And yeah, as you can kind of see right there, people really don't realize how much damage we have. We end up getting charged there by, I think, a Void Gauntlet Life Staff. I didn't even see the other weapon there, but literally just turn around, burst real quick, and then we just head back into what we're doing. But yeah, that third piece of shrinking heals to get our total healing back up to around that 1300 mark does make this build feel really nice, I feel. But yeah, still living in the enemy team's backline, seeing what we can make happen, trying to do what I can to dip and dodge a lot of these range attacks, but they do finally get us down here. And then we're gonna go ahead and see if we can make our way back into their backlines again. Let me know in the comments though what thing you are looking forward to next patch. Is it the new scaling on the gems? Is it one of the new artifacts? I think for me, the thing that I'm definitely the most excited about is going to be the scaling on the gems, just to make a lot of these kind of weird off-meta builds a lot more competitive. But we do find ourselves in another little 2v1 here. Find a disgusting incinerate, excuse me, on both players there. Get them very low. We do end up getting caught in a disgusting volt kick, but we get a shirking heals proc and a heal from, it looks like, one of our teammates on the wall there. And we're going to be able to finish off that Void Gauntlet player, and then get the second one very low and finish him off with the dots. Get jumped on by another flamethrower user, and you can really see how much shirking heals is putting in. The amount of times we would have to have stopped and fully reset these fights to be able to continue fighting is actually ridiculous. And it's literally just shirking heals, which is just allowing us to continually just stay aggressive and continually fight people, as we end up finishing off the flamethrower there as well. We are kind of starting to overstay our welcome a little bit here though, as the enemy team is starting to group up a lot more, and they're not really following me out in smaller groups or as solos anymore. And we kind of do have anytime I see a flail, I'll literally just walk away from it because I know that it's really just an annoyance more than anything. But we do kind of make our way around the backline here to see if we can make anything happen. And you can kind of see what I mean. They're doing a really good job of not really giving me any more leeway of messing with them here, and they're gonna end up converging on us very soon here, and finding ourselves in a corner that we can't get out of. But yeah, let me know what you are excited for next patch, because Season 3 and Season 4 I think have been probably some of the most drastic changes for the game that we've had in a while. But as always, thank you all so much for watching, and have an amazing day.